Alrighty, so if you haven't heard the news already, PlayStation has rightfully decided to backtrack on closing the PlayStation 3 and Vita digital storefronts. This was announced, at the time of recording this was announced yesterday, and let's read Jimmy Boy Ryan's statement on this over on the PlayStation blog. Recently, we notified players that PlayStation Store for PS3 and PS Vita devices was planned to end this summer. Upon further reflection, however, it's clear that we made the wrong decision here. So today, I'm happy to say that we will be keeping the PlayStation Store operational for PS3 and PS Vita devices. PSP Commerce functionality will retire on July 2nd, 2021, as planned. When we initially came to the decision to end purchasing support for PS3 and PS Vita, it was born out of a number of factors, including commerce support challenges for older devices, and the ability for us to focus more of our resources on newer devices where a majority of our gamers are playing on. We see now that many of you are incredibly passionate about being able to continue purchasing classic games on PS3 and PS Vita for the foreseeable future, so I'm glad we were able to find a solution to continue operations. I'm glad that we can keep this piece of our history alive for gamers to enjoy, while we continue to create cutting-edge new game worlds for PS4, PS5, and the next generation of VR. Thank you for sharing your feedback with us. We're always listening and appreciate the support from our PlayStation community. Right, so Sony does not deserve applause for this. I don't care how good this makes them look. I don't care how many, brownie points they get from journalists and fanboys and all that. I, for one, am not going to give them a single shred of credit for doing this. And the very simple reason as to why is that this should have never happened in the first place. This never, ever, ever should have been a problem to begin with. I don't have a business degree or anything fancy like that, but I could have told you what was going to happen. As I said in my last video, did no one there, anyone at PlayStation who had the power to make these decisions, really sit down and seriously consider the ramifications of this decision? Did no one there really think that it would be a good idea to maybe reveal a solution, if one is in the works that is, for this problem that they were going to force, and keep in mind, they didn't give people a whole lot of heads up about this. They were forcing this problem onto the players and onto themselves. Apparently, no one did, because they had to learn the hard way what was going to happen when you piss off a bunch of people with a decision like this. Like, why would I praise them for making a stupid decision and then reversing it? Why? Like, why would you do that? Why do they deserve your applause? Why do they deserve your goodwill for sticking to the norm? Why? I'm not gonna praise somebody for burning their house down and then deciding at the last minute, oh shit, my house is on fire, let me go put it out. It's like, no, I'm not gonna praise someone for doing that. I just look at them and I go, God, what an asswipe. And then I move on. And it's the same shit here. Sony made an obviously stupid decision, saw the backlash, and went, oh, maybe we shouldn't have done that. With anyone with half a fucking brain could have told Sony that this was going to end badly for them. It's like, it's the meme of the dog sitting in the burning house and going, yep, this is fine, except come to life. That's what PlayStation basically did with this decision. And I'm not going to forget this, because PlayStation have given you, unintentionally, given everyone a peek behind the curtain of what they are willing to do these days. And this, to me, just goes to show, it's further evidence that the top brass at PlayStation right now have no fucking idea what the hell they're doing. They have no idea how to really seriously honor their legacy and make people happy. Outside of creating blockbuster video games of high quality, every other area of PlayStation right now is a fucking shit show. I don't know what is going on over there. And this is very similar to the recent Xbox Live Gold price hike controversy. It's very similar. I look at a multi-billion-dollar corporation. They make a stupid decision, and yet I'm supposed to give them like kudos for that? When anyone could see that this was gonna end badly? And I don't forget these things, because with the rate that news is delivered to the masses these days, video game companies rely on people forgetting bad news. They fully expect people to forget about something shitty they did by the end of the week or the beginning of the next week. That's how video game companies operate. That's how so many companies have been able to get away with so much crap, because so many people are afraid to hold their feet to the fire for any length of time. They get bored. And I've seen it, where you see websites still hammering on about stuff like this, hammering on about the MLB deal, hammering on about the lack of backwards compatibility to PS3 and PS2 and PS1, and yet there will be this group of people that will go, "Duh, stop complaining, duh, no one does this anyway, duh, I don't want to hear criticism about Sony, they're my friend, I don't want to hear anything about them, duh." And that's how we end up with bad decisions, because these absolute fucking morons get bored and then they get angry at people that are still bringing it up, saying that they're beating a dead horse. No! And this goes to show that if you complain loud enough about something in the correct way, without being like harassing individual people, without being toxic, they will buckle and they will change. I don't ever want to hear from anybody ever again that whining doesn't solve anything. It absolutely does. And I vehemently refuse to applaud nor forgive a multi-billion-dollar corporation for backtracking on a horrible, potentially damaging decision. And keep in mind, this is only good. This only moves PlayStation back to square one. That we're back right where we started, except now with the equipped knowledge that Sony is willing to do shitty things to make more money. That's what this boiled down to. I don't care how Jimmy Boy Ryan puts it in his fucking PR statement. This was all about money. This was all about making more money. And this does not erase the facts that, for one, Sony did not care about giving advance notice to many small devs working on Vita titles. 2, they still don't have a proper solution to backwards compatibility for legacy titles. And 3, they tried to release this announcement in a super low-key manner via a buried forum post and a quick email. They knew exactly what they were doing, and it thankfully blew up in their stupid fucking faces. And I do not accept this, "Well, let's just forgive PlayStation. Oh, you know, they learned their lesson." Why is it so hard for you to forgive PlayStation? Why is it so hard for you to applaud them? I'm willing to do that for individuals that fuck up. Individuals fuck up all the time. We're not perfect, we're human. I fully believe in that for forgiving and forgetting for certain people. Given the situation, of course. However, I do not accept that notion when it comes to a multi-billion-dollar corporation that are run by people who should know better by now. Hindsight is 20/20 and all, but Jimmy Boy Ryan at the very least should have known how bad this was going to look. Anyone, like I said, anyone with half a fucking brain could have seen the backlash coming. I could have fucking sat them down and been like, "Guys, this is gonna end badly. Please do not do this." I'm pretty sure they wouldn't have listened to me, but again, I don't have a business major. I'm not extremely skilled in the ways of PR and business management and all that shit, but it just makes it look so much worse when PlayStation just steers the ship into an iceberg when there's everyone on board who can go, "Hey, Sony, there's an iceberg," and yet Jimmy Boy Ryan at the captain's seat, "The iceberg!" Boom! Just smashing right into it. So, no. PlayStation does not deserve your applause. PlayStation is not your fucking friend. Stop treating them like they are an individual person, like they're a singular entity. They're not. They're a corporation, and they don't give a fuck about you. Never forget what PlayStation tried to pull. They tried. That's the important part. They tried pulling something shitty. It did not work, and because it did not work, they want kudos for that. No, they don't deserve it at all.